We are finally 6 months away from the final expansion in the Light and Darkness saga, the Final Shape. This also happens to mean that we are 6 months away from the next raid in which we will finally take down the Witness. Hopefully, I would hope that's what happens. But backtrack with me for a minute. In case you've been living under a rock, once again, Crota's End was the most recent contest raid, and oh boy, after 24 hours, it only had 870 teams cleared on a reprised raid. That's insane enough for a normal raid, but for perspective, King's Fall, the most recent reprised raid, had almost 3,000. This thing had almost 3 times fewer teams complete than the most recent one, and Crota's End was the one that keeps getting called a strike. And yet, the reprisal of Crota's End was darn near impossible, and that's actually awesome. So this video doesn't have a script, but I just wanted to kind of talk about, well, it does have a script actually, it looks like this. I just wanted to talk about kind of the feelings that I have on day one raids and how difficult they need to be or should be, and how awesome I think Crota's End, beginning, whatever the second Crota's End is called, is for the entire, I don't know, trajectory of this game. It's very incredible that this raid came out now. It's a huge W by Bungie, and I think this is a massive leap in the right direction. I don't think it's any surprise that raids need to be difficult. They're the hardest activity in the game for a reason. They are the highest end of activities in Destiny 2. They're meant to be difficult. That is a good thing. And day one raids are meant to be even more difficult. We don't want Root of Nightmares 2.0. Heavens no, because really that isn't that fun for the general community. Yes, it's nice that little Timmy can get his clears. Yeah, I mean, at that point, it'd just be better for everybody to be able to go and get it on normal mode, because honestly, there wasn't that big of a difference between contest mode and normal mode. Nezarec was still a pushover. The clears should not be cheap, but at the same time, they definitely shouldn't be overbearing either. Just as much as Root of Nightmares, I don't want a Last Wish 2.0 either. That's almost too exclusive. Day one raids need to be balanced, not towards the fact that the average player should be able to clear. In fact, the average player should not be able to clear. But if the average player wanted to prepare and get a team together, then they definitely should be able to. Crota nails that balance of being very difficult, but not impossibly out of reach. At least the day one race. The raid itself is, well, it's still kind of Crota's End. It's pretty short. And yet that was still one of the most fun day ones for me to participate in, just as much as it was for me to watch. Sure, I was watching people get tortured for fun, but it's watching day one. People are getting tortured for fun anyways. This is just what we like to do. Why am I so excited about this though? Sure, it's great that the day one raid was hard and all, but what's the point of all that? I really hope, and I believe that it does, that this raid sets a precedent for the next raid, or raids day ones. I have opinions on the raid design of Crota. I think it's a very good raid. The D2 is way better than D1. It's still short. You can't fundamentally change that, still call it a reprisal too much. Regardless, the day one challenge was still really freaking fun. Yes, some of the challenges are bugged, it was buggy, but honestly, what day one isn't buggy at this point? If you're looking for raid design opinions, I think Deepstone Crypt is the best raid overall. I have like a 2-hour video at this point I'm making on that. I have so much editing to do, my goodness. But if you're going for the best reprise, I think so far it's been King's Fall, which once again had 3 times more clears than this one. So now this, I believe, has taken the best day one spot from that, at least for the reprises, I should say. Bungie has been knocking it out of the park as of recent, and if what they imply is anything close to what we get for the Final Shape raid, I think this thing could be pretty sweet. Now, I will say, I do have like a huge conspiracy theory that would be wild if it happens, and I hope it does. Again, this is where I'm just rattling off of whatever shell of a script I have, but I think that the day one could be like impossibly hard, and that it's like a diverging stories thing of if somebody beats the day 1 raid, then story goes in one direction, or if we don't beat the day 1 raid, the story goes in another direction. That would just be amazing, but that's also, I know, impossible in pretty much a live service game. Regardless, the only company I think that could do that is Fortnite, and that's because Epic Games, well, they don't treat their employees the best. But even so, if Crota's End, like Dro Blackburn said, is the testing grounds for how hard the Witness is going to be, I think we are on a fantastic path to having one of the best raids Destiny 2 has ever seen. I think they learned a lot from their mistakes in Root of Nightmares, a raid that was far too easy. But it was very close to being actually really good. If you just turned up the difficulty and also made it to where you can't stand on a platform to DPS Nezarec and he actually chased you around the room, then that raid all of a sudden goes from a okay raid and a horrible day 1 to a fantastic raid and a fantastic day 1. I think there's some things tonally I don't quite agree with in the raid, but I still think it would be definitely a higher tier raid if you just change a couple of those things. And Crota's End was a shown massive improvement over the one in D1. You know, the raid that was basically a strike. And the next raid coming out reprised is going to be Wrath of the Machine. I don't think there's any subtlety to this. They've already hinted at it being Wrath of the Machine. I don't think it could be anything else other than Wrath of the Machine, because if they do the D2 ones, people are gonna get mad, and that's not gonna be fun to deal with. So if the next 2 raids are anything like how Crota's proved that the raid team can improve upon a design and make it better, but not only that, make the day 1 better than the original day 1, I think we are about to get some really freaking good raids next year. But of course, that's still next year. That's down the line. And yeah, it's exciting and all, but that's coming later. For now, we do have Crota's and all these other fun raids to play. I have a lot more grinding in Crota's End to do because I really want Necrochasm because it looks cool and does funny stuff. But yeah, no, I don't have time for that. I'm in college, bro. I can't do this. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments. I know my upload schedule has been very wonky the past couple of days, weeks, whatever you want to say. Again, college has been hitting different, as they say. Once again, like and subscribe. I've actually got some real videos down the line. I know this one was kind of off the wall. Next video should be on a PvP build I'm really enjoying and I want to share with the world, so hopefully it will ruin the PvP meta. After that, I also have that massive Deepstone Crypt project I'm still working on, and many other things I can't wait for you guys to see. I don't know when this video will come out or if it's come out, but my homie Carson Reed, oops, sorry, dropped something. My homie Carson Reed is releasing a really awesome project. You'll probably see it in a twid before you see this from me, because there's no way this thing ain't losing. I mean, I've seen it. It's incredible. Go support it. Go support him. Go support Joe and all the amazing people that have worked on it. Yeah, parasocially love you guys to death. Or whatever. See ya.
Your time is up.